So Donald Trump has found himself in complete shame and disgrace as he and his war criminal friend Benjamin Netanyahu suffer a triple setback. This is what happens when you become a spineless and coward stooge of a war criminal from a settler colony. I'm going to play the statement from Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary. If you ever wanted to see the kind of trash this US administration has become, this video is the best example. This also amply illustrates the joke that this US administration has become globally. I shall also explain to you the spectacular failure suffered by terrorist Netanyahu and the backstabbing by Trump and Steve Witkoff of the so-called ally Qatar in this case. But let me first play the clip of Caroline Leavitt, who said this in justification of the Israeli bombing of Doha.
Regarding the Israeli strike in Doha, how much time or how much of a heads up did the U.S. get, and does the president support the strike?
Sure. Well, I have a statement to read for all of you with respect to the Israeli strike in Doha, and here it is. This morning, the Trump administration was notified by the United States military that as Israel was attacking Hamas, which very unfortunately was located in a section of Doha, the capital of Qatar. Unilaterally bombing inside Qatar, a sovereign nation and close ally of the United States that is working very hard and bravely taking risks with us to broker peace, does not advance Israel or America's goals. However, eliminating Hamas, who have profited off the misery of those living in Gaza, is a worthy goal. President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the impending attack, which he did. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack. President Trump wants all of the hostages in Gaza and the bodies of the dead released, and this war to end now. President Trump also spoke to Prime Minister Netanyahu after the attack. The Prime Minister told President Trump that he wants to make peace, and quickly. President Trump believes this unfortunate incident could serve as an opportunity for peace. The president also spoke to the Emir and Prime Minister of Qatar and thanked them for their support and friendship to our country. He assured them that such a thing will not happen again on their soil.
So Trump and Witkoff first sent a ceasefire proposal to Hamas leadership in Doha for them to consider it. And while they were busy deliberating or considering this proposal, Netanyahu and Trump decided to eliminate the same negotiators by bombing a nation that Trump claims is America's ally. So as long as the ally nation is not white or Jew or Zionist, it's okay to bomb that ally nation. Isn't this what this statement from this press secretary suggests? Also, what this statement says is that while the US and Israel want hostages released, we must kill Hamas leaders by bombing a sovereign country, which also happens to be an ally of America. But since this ally is an Arab and Muslim nation, it's kosher for racist Trump and Netanyahu to not care about its sovereignty. Great. There was another problem with this statement. The advisor to the Qatari Prime Minister has publicly exposed the lies propagated by the White House secretary. This is what Dr. Majed Al-Ansari had to say, and I quote, "The statements being circulated about Qatar being informed of the attack in advance are baseless. The call from a US official came during the sound of explosions caused by the Israeli attack in Doha." End quote. So according to a person no less than the Qatari Prime Minister's advisor, Trump was lying by claiming that he told Steve Witkoff to alert the Qatari government about the Israeli bombing in advance. Witkoff never informed the Qatari government, and the Qatar learned about this bombing after it had wreaked havoc in Doha. And the Qatari Prime Minister was proudly flaunting his historical relationship, his historical ties with Witkoff during his interview with Tucker Carlson only some time ago.
Witkoff, who I think has done a good, for the record, I think has done a good job, but was attacked in some U.S. media for his he had done business in your country, and he was attacked as a tool of your government.
Well, sometimes when you read the reports about Qatar, like you feel that this is a superpower that controls, everyone, and everyone is a tool in the hand of Qatar. Look, this is all a joke. Steve is a respected businessman. He has done business. We didn't do anything wrong with him. We have done business. I've known him for a long time. I attended his son's wedding. I have a personal relationship, and all this happened before even the election. Before the election taking place. This was, I think, last February, just months before the election. And this friendship and relationship, it means that there's a trust between two people.
Then there is another revelation that the entire Hamas leadership has survived the joint Israeli and American attack. Only a member of the Qatari security guard and a son of Hamas leader were killed in this murderous attack by Israeli with the support of the US. Also, Qatar has now decided to not play any role in peace negotiations with Israel. Listen to this BBC reporter.
And Rushdie, what more have we been hearing from Hamas this evening?
Well, in the last few minutes, there is a statement from Hamas saying that Israel did not succeed in killing the Hamas leadership. We understand that there was a senior Hamas leaders, the most senior Hamas leaders, were in a meeting in Doha, in their office in the capital, Doha, to discuss what the Hamas said, the recent American proposal when they were targeted. They said they are all survived. And they named some of the low-level people, some of the bodyguards, and the son of the Khalil Hayya, one of the most senior Hamas leader. They said he was killed in the attack. So from Hamas, this is a failure by Israel to kill the leaders as their leaders, as they said in the statement. Earlier, we heard from a senior Hamas that the meeting was significant, and 4 out of 5, because when the Hamas killed Ismail, when Israel killed Ismail Haniyeh, then Yahya al-Sinwar was the leader after him. They didn't name a specific leader for Hamas. Instead, they were forming what they said, the 5 leadership committee. We understand 4 out of 5 were in the meeting, except the head of the committee, Mohammed Darwish. He is not in Doha. He is in Istanbul, we understand from Hamas sources.
And Rushdie, where does this leave now Hamas in terms of leadership and in terms of where it goes from here?
It is very difficult, but I think this is the end of the diplomatic route, because the Qatari are now saying that they are suspending their mediation.
So well done. This is what Netanyahu wanted, and his servant Trump has delivered that to him. Reacting to Caroline Leavitt's statement, another BBC reporter, Jeremy Bowen, said that this was a slap on the face for the Americans.
It just feels very confusing and difficult for the US at the moment.
Yeah, it's a slap in the face for them. Steve Witkoff has been trying, and while the Trump's envoy, and while the American diplomatic effort has been looking, well, distinctly tattered and tarnished, frankly, because nothing much is coming of it. And a lot of people in Israel argue that's because, apart from anything that Hamas might have done, that Netanyahu never wanted to make a deal anyway. He wanted to pursue the war.
I wonder what right would Trump and his minions would now have to talk about their commitment to peace. It's a tragic day both for people of Gaza and the families of the hostages. Both Trump and terrorist Netanyahu have told them in no uncertain terms that they simply don't care about Gaza hostages. All they care about is the expansion of Israel and America's imperial power in the Middle East. They know that the slave Arab rulers simply cannot put up any resistance. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you too think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.